Mr. Anil will be sharing his insights on mentoring the next generation of tech leaders. Over to you, Mr. Anil.
Thank you. I hope everyone can hear me. Yeah. So first of all, she said 3 decades, so I suddenly start, feeling that I'm very old. Maybe I'm working from the time when some of you may have not even born. So this topic, came to me that, Namrata called me and asked me, can you come join us and talk about mentoring the next generation? Very difficult topic. She just said one line, and I was wondering, what to talk. So what I thought, guys, there's nothing right or wrong. What I thought that last 30 plus years, whatever worked for me, let me say that, and then maybe some of those things or most of those things may have heard by every one of you. So what I thought, let me share them and then talk about that and maybe share my experiences. Hopefully that will help some of you or maybe all of you. So what I did, when I was thinking about what to talk, I thought, let me talk about 3 things. One, what I see, what I worked for me as an individual, what capability, what worked for me as an individual, what worked for me as a team member, or in other words, what worked for a successful team, and then what are the capabilities, which help when you move into a leadership role or you do a leadership role for that matter. And then last, I will just touch base, very theoretical, talking about what is mentoring and what are the different approaches one can use for mentoring. So as an individual, I think no one will challenge me if I say technical skills and continuous learning is very critical and important. Trust me, what is working today will not work 2 years down the line. 5 years, 4 years back, no one was talking about AI in the big way the way we are talking. And sometimes when you are recruiting people for AI, and some of my friends are sitting here, they will say I have 15 years of experience working in doing automation and AI. But coming back, this is one of the critical things, how you learn, what is needed, what is coming, what is future, and what you unlearn. When you are learning something, what you unlearn is also critically and important. And this learning is like continuous learning. You cannot say that, towards the end of the year, I will have an objective in my PDR, that I will do a certification, and then I do that certification and I say, man, tick in the box, done. This year is gone, my manager will rate me and he will see that I've done certification. So this should be continuous learning. Learning should be on 2 things. One, the role and responsibility which you are doing. What are the new technologies, what are the new tools are coming in that area. And the second is, what you want to do in future. If you want to do what you are doing today in a different scale, a different platform, or you want to do something entirely different. Previous speaker was saying he was in sales and then he moved to IT. So maybe when you're working in a function and you want to do something different, maybe learn about that. Second is problem solving and innovation associated with that. Guys, day in, day out, when you step into the office, you will find every day a new challenging issue which you need to address. Which you need to address as an individual, which you need to address as a team. And that is where your problem solving skills comes into the play, whether you are an individual contributor for that matter or you're working in a team. There are multiple things in problem solving. One of them is creative approach. Okay? How creatively you come up with, we keep talking, out of the box ideas and then use those ideas, to the problem solving. So problem solving and then innovating solution, meaning what are different new ideas you bring, what you are what you may have not used it in past, or you have heard about it, how you can bring some of those things and use them for doing things. Along with that, how you I talked about technology, how you embrace new technology, new tool to address those problems. So let us not stick to what worked earlier may work in future also. How I can use something which is new, to do the problem solving, or to address the problem in hand. So that is the next thing which I think is very important. Moving on, emotional intelligence. This thing is not important only in office, but trust me, it is equally important at home. So, two things in this again. Emotional intelligence is very important and very crucial, from growth, personal growth or professional growth perspective. But knowing your emotions, knowing where you stand, in that area, and then use your emotional intelligence, to drive and to execute. If you are working in a team, and that probably I will talk about down the line, when you're working in a team, this plays a very important role. Knowing your capabilities, knowing where you stand is very critical and important. If I move forward, there's one more thing which I put a lot of focus on is the perception. I believe, based on whole of my experience, develop yourself as a brand. And you need to maintain that brand. You need to sell that brand. Imagine you have developed yourself a brand, and someone is talking, I need this. Probably I can reach out to the XYZ, and if I reach out to him, he will address that. He will help me out, take me out from the current situation. Building brand is not very easy. And what has worked for me is when you're entering a new role or new company, understand what are your stakeholders. The stakeholders are the people who help, who guide, who influence your career. Career could be from your role perspective, career could be from your future role perspective. And some of those important people are your manager, your escape level, other team members of your escape level, because they decide, your future. So, develop your brand, keep these stakeholders updated the way you are progressing in your role, career, and then use those stakeholders, sometime how people are thinking, how people are feeling about you. There's another thing which I believe, and I've taken benefit of that. You keep checking, what is the buzz around you. Okay? What people are thinking about you, not only in your function, in your organization, outside your department. Ensure that you keep checking the pulse, what the buzz, and then if you feel something is not going the way I'm thinking, go back to revisit your brand, revisit, what is going on, and then rework on that. Last point on this category I want to touch base is comfort zone. Okay. Somewhere 96, 97, I met a consultant, and we were in a team building program, and he said one thing, that if you're working in a company beyond 5 years, okay, generally you start going into your comfort zone, and then I'm talking from the role perspective, but it is true for within organization also. So then you start thinking if some new opportunity comes to you, hesitate in taking that new opportunity. If this time goes further, you face more challenges because you feel what I'm doing is right. If I go out, you think more negative than positive basically. And it happens within the organization. If you are doing the same role for, say, a number of years, you become very comfortable with that role. So the point what I'm trying to highlight is comfort zone is an unhealthy thing. You should always challenge yourself, and you can do by doing multiple things. Critical experience is one good example. Take something which is outside of interest, outside of your knowledge. Take some new learnings, take some new courses of the area which you don't know, and a lot of other things probably you can do. So coming back, which I've seen in my whole 30 plus years of experience, as soon as you move into the comfort zone, trust me, your growth slows down. I will not say it stops, but it definitely slows down. Further, moving to, let me touch base now on some of the capability which I feel from team perspective, and one of them I think our previous speaker also touched base on some of the collaboration and communication piece is very critical and important. And when I say communication or collaboration for that matter, a clear communication is very essential for effective outcome of what you're trying to do. And communication is not only verbal communication, written communication, how good you are making good presentation and delivering those presentation is equally critically important. One thing which generally, in general I'm saying, we believe that more you speak is better. I say other way around, more you listen is better than more you speak. So this is very important when you work in a team, whether you are working as a team member, team player, or a leader for the team, or running the program. So then, so before I jump, sorry, another thing is very important is collaboration is important, competition is not. Okay, sometimes we unknowingly moved, into a competition zone, and then we are competing within our team. We start competing outside our team. That is not. I feel personally that is not very healthy. Moving on, conflict resolution and adaptability. Adaptability for doing new things. Adaptability of accepting the change which is going on around you. I'm sure 5 to 6 years back, no one had thought that we will develop bots to do a lot of things which we were doing manually or doing, by individuals. So adaptability is from change perspective, but let me talk from conflict resolution perspective. Strong conflict resolution allows you to collaborate better within the team or outside the team. And it becomes much more important when you are working in teams which are not exactly part of your function, when it is across different functions of the organization or different geographies of the organization for that matter. Working on teams, maintaining a positive dynamics, and then I earlier talked about competition. It is similar, quite a bit closer to that. How you avoid going into the criticisms or negativity or negative discussion, and always look towards the positive side. Very critical and important. Specifically, more important when you are in virtual world versus in-person discussions for that matter. Sometimes we don't even realize when you're talking on phone, you have very positive intent, but the way you are communicating, the way your tone is, and that gives entirely different message than what you intend to do. One thing, last thing on this basically is trust your instinct. I have seen in my career multiple times that we are not able to find a solve. A lot of people are coming with different suggestions, solution, and we are not very convinced which way to go. I go with my instinct, and I go with my instinct, seeing that there are a lot of things which are coming, which are not favoring the way I want to think. So very important for me, and I've seen, I'm sure some of you, or maybe all of you, may agree that trusting your instinct helps. There is some magical ability, by which you can smell something and then go with that. Building trust and accountability. We talked about trust, and I was reading, one of my friends is sitting here. He have given very good LinkedIn post this afternoon, I think, on trust. So I will not go in the detail, but trust within the team is very important. And trust cannot be, bought or developed or gained. It has to be developed, and it is developed over a period of time. How you act, how you behave, helps you in developing the trust. And there are a lot of things, which I feel one can do. Is how you develop your team, how you are in their good time and bad time, with them, how you are supporting them, in crisis situation and in whatnot. So there are a lot of things, which comes. So building trust is very important. Coming back to the accountability, in each team, wherever you work or whatever team you are working, ensure that you have very well-defined rules and responsibility, and you are following them and you are owning them. One last point on this is build your support system, we say. And when I say support system is on personal family front as well as on professional front. Support system starts from, with family, with friends, neighbors, your other team members, your other colleagues in the organization, professionals, outside your organization, in the industry, in the technology, wherever you're working. Now, from leadership perspective, what worked for me, let me quickly touch base on that because time is running out. One is vision and strategic thinking. So it's very important, how you develop the vision, drive the vision into strategy, and drive strategy into goals, and then execute those goals. Decision making and risk management, another capability which I feel personally is very important, and first of them is the decisive leadership. Maybe you have seen, some of maybe your manager, current, past leaders you have worked with in difficult situations. Some people avoid taking decisions. Okay. Some people expect, let others take decision on my behalf. Some people create a situation where, you take decision, but you don't take the full ownership of that. So coming back, effective leaders demonstrate, decisive by taking timely decision and then drive the progress around those decisions. Risk evaluation, understanding the risk, taking calculative risk in making the decision and driving, going with those risks. There is a saying that, higher the risk, higher the gain. But it may not be always true. So depending upon the situation you are, you need to take that. And then taking informed decision, of course, seeing based on different data points, what are the historical details, what is the current situation, what are the different inputs you have, and then making decision, of course, based on that. Inspiring and motivating others. When you are working in a leadership position or managerial position, you may have a lot of people with you or around you. All of them may not have the same capability and strength, but each one of them have their strength and capabilities. It is important, how you use them, based on their capabilities, and then decide, what else they need to learn and develop, and then keep working with them. And providing encouragement, celebrate success, keep motivation to your team, very critical and important, specifically when team is down, when they are in a difficult situation. In any leadership position or in a team, fostering the ownership is very important and critical, because unless you own, you will not be able to drive and deliver. We say that give your people a wing, and let them fly. Don't restrict them, but keep a watch on them that they are going in the right direction. They are flying, but they don't go into Pakistan boundary. They still remain in the Indian boundary for that matter. So if they are flying, let them fly, support them, but ensure that you still govern them, that they are on the right path. I think this should be the last slide, and I will quickly touch base on this. It's very theoretical, but I'm sure whoever is looking for mentorship may have gone through this. 3 approaches: personalized mentoring, one-to-one, focus support. You are getting mentoring, you are getting coached on any specific aspect or a specific problem, and then close guidance is nothing but one-on-one mentoring on a particular topic and subject, and when that subject and topic is achieved, the mentoring process ends. Last, the group mentoring and peer learning, collaborative learning environment, where multiple people come together and learn, and then community building, where people foster sense of community and participant, and then encourage support and collaboration within the group. And the last but not least is enhanced learning experience. So you enrich the mentee, engage into the discussion, and then they learn together and enhance it. So that's it from my end. I'm open for questions. I try rushing into the last couple of slides, but some of those things which I shared with you is purely based on what worked for me in the last 3 decades of my career.
Do we have any questions?
Great, no question means either you followed everything or you haven't followed anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Anil.